Morning and happy Monday to you. My name is LaShonda Brown, and welcome to Bootstrap Biz Device Live, where I teach service providers how to do less manually and live a more fulfilling life by leveraging technology. This is the last live stream in our series on AI tools. And so I want to quickly recap what we have previously discussed. So we got everything started with an interview with my dear friend Phil Palin, the author of AI for Small Business, and we talked about AI tools that every small business should know. I would also say if you didn't tune in for this one, go back and listen to how Phil creates his prompts for the AI tools that he uses. I think that was one of my favorite takeaways during this interview is I started to realize the way in which he prompts the AI tools he uses helps him to get better results. So if you find yourself wanting to use an AI tool that is prompt driven and you're not really well versed in how to write those, this would be a great live stream for you to go back and watch. After that, we talked about looking at AI tools in terms of your business operations. How can we run our businesses on autopilot? And we discussed 8 different tools that can help you with that. To quickly recap, we talked about Dubsado that can handle your invoicing, your contracts. High level is a all-in-one marketing tool, so you can do all sorts of things with that, from your websites to your forms to AI chatbots. Everything is integrated in one space. Connect Team is a great way for you to manage your employees who don't actually work at a desk. And for up to 10 users, it's actually free to use. So, time tracking, I mean, that is a huge aspect to what makes Connect Team so valuable. I love Butter as an alternative to Zoom. It takes care of my transcriptions from my live calls. It provides summaries. It creates little GIFs. And so it allows me to be more present on my calls because I know that Butter is taking care of all of the admin side of things. Calendly is my online scheduler. Airtable is kind of like your spreadsheets on steroids. Samebox is the way to help you to get to inbox zero. And then Jotform is the form builder that I have used since the very beginning of my entrepreneurship journey. So in that live stream, I kind of gave you previews of all those tools. And so if you missed that, feel free to go back. All the tools that I recommend are listed on the tools page on my website, but I did go back and put, if I had affiliate links or any type of discount, I linked to those in the description on that live stream. Same thing with last week. We did another roundup, and this time we talked about time management. Okay. So some of the tools made a return, like Calendly and Samebox, because I would say that those will also help you not just with business operations, but help you manage your time. Then we threw in a few more like Fathom, ManyChat, Descript, Notion, ClickUp, and Sunsama. Yes, Sunsama. My friends, today we are talking about AI tools for content creation. And I shouldn't play favorites. However, I think one of the best uses of AI is to leverage it with the process of creating content because AI tools can function 24/7 while we have time limitations. So if you are leveraging content marketing as part of your business, you definitely want to tune into today's live. So, first and foremost, I want to make sure that you hit the like button at any point during this live stream if you find this valuable because it really does work. The replays on this series actually they have outperformed some of the feed videos that I have uploaded this month, and I know for a fact it's because of your engagement. So make sure that you tell the algorithm, no, this stuff is good. More people need to see this simply by giving it a like. So just because that's free doesn't mean it's not helpful. So make sure that you give it a like if you like it. I do want to let you know that we do go back and we add in time codes. The links are already there for the tools that I'm going to recommend, but the time codes will help you to jump to any section of the live stream when you're watching the replay if you want to hear more about a specific tool. So I'm going to utilize this hour and I'm going to brain dump on you, but it will be so much easier for you to navigate the replay if you check out the time codes. We should have those up by this afternoon. Okay, last thing I want to do is kind of tell you what's happening in the life of my membership community. So I'm going to break this down in as simplest terms as possible. Y'all are receiving my tech education for free 99 on the YouTube. And although I am showing up here on a regular basis and providing value, this is just a small part of what I do teaching online. This is essentially my way to get paid to market my business. This is a way for me to let you guys know what's happening in the life of my business, to introduce you to tech tools that I've partnered with. But at the end of the day, I go in depth when you are a paid member of my community. So, my membership has the same name as the channel because Bootstrap Biz Advice is not just my channel, it is also my literal LLC. So I get a paycheck from Bootstrap Biz Advice. So if we were to head over to the website, you would see that there is a way for you to become a member. Now, if you are simply a STAR student, what that means is you get access to my monthly workshops, which I'm going to give you a preview of what's coming up. And I definitely think you're going to want to pop in for that. So, STAR students, only $10 a month for now. That will not be the price next year. And if you scroll down here on the homepage, you're going to see those are the two levels. The workshop subscription is STAR student. Bootstrap Creators is my content marketing membership. So essentially, we're talking about content creation today. And I'm not even going to lie to you. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. If you want my help walking you through the process of applying what you're going to learn today, that's what happens in the membership. Okay. This is my way of getting the information out and being as helpful as I possibly can to help you get started on the journey. But I don't have your email. I don't have any way to direct message you until you connect with me within the membership. So the content marketing membership is $50 a month, which honestly, I have seen some of the prices of these other membership communities and I am shocked at what some are charging. I make it super accessible because the tech companies are my primary client. Okay. So I will tell you, do not get overwhelmed when I start to walk through these tools. Just know there is a next step, a logical next step that you can take to say, okay, I love all this information. I want to be able to get LaShonda to look at this along the way. I want to be able to ask her questions. I want to be able to be a part of a community. And so that is what's going to happen inside of the membership. That being said, our coaching call is this week. Okay. So I'm not trying to push you hard, my friends. I'm just trying to keep you in the loop. So every month, I bring in one of my brand partners to talk about things you cannot Google about their company. This Wednesday, I'll be bringing in a team member from Beehive to talk about monetized newsletters. So they are going to come in, they are going to talk. And then in the coaching segment of the call, I'm going to talk about how I am practically preparing my business to go into a sales season starting in September. Because the reality is, summers are slow. Everybody knows it. But I need to pick things up September to November to make sure that the holiday season is not stressful for me. So that is what we're going to be talking about this week. So if you want to be a part of the coaching call and you don't want to wait a whole another month before you get a chance to be on that, then you want to become a member. There's also an opportunity for you to hop in the hot seat, but this community don't like to have the camera on. I don't force people in the hot seat, but it's there if you want it. Okay. Last thing that is free 99 is one of my tech partners is coming in to teach us what's actually working with online marketing. And I don't know about y'all, but it's been hard out in these streets this year. Stuff is different. And so I wanted to know what's practically working. So what's going to happen is we have invited a team member from High Level to do an entire educational workshop. This one's free 99. Okay. So it's not my usual $10 a month workshop. This is free to attend. The link to register is already in the description of this video, and they are going to teach us the flywheel effect. If you have never heard of a marketing flywheel, you need to be on this workshop. And you can just sign up and watch the replay if you can't attend it live, but it's definitely something I think you should learn because marketing has changed, surprise, surprise, online, and this is what's working. So I'm trying to get you as much information as possible to equip you in your journey. So that being said, I feel like we all need to take a collective breath before I hop into all the tech tools. And so I'm going to give you a preview of what you can expect in our workshop in August. If you're feeling overwhelmed, scattered, and stuck, join us on August 12th at 1 p.m. Eastern for the Joy Reset. In the Joy Reset, Justin Shields offers 10 surprising science-backed strategies to reclaim your calm, cut through the noise, and rediscover your sense of joy. Whether it's a 5-minute trick or a mindset shift that lasts for years, you will leave equipped to step back into your life with clarity and a renewed sense of optimism. If you're ready to create simple, sustainable habits that foster mental peace and resilience in the face of stress, visit lashondabrown.com/workshops to drop in for 10 or become a star student today. All right, so I hope that little breath kind of helped you, because I'm like, oh, girl, you're doing a lot. You're doing a lot. But it's the end of the month. And so honestly, the end of the month is always busy for me. So hopefully that little respite was nice for you. The workshop in August is going to help us with personal development. It's not going to be super business heavy. We did this last year. And when I tell you, I didn't know how much I just needed a breath to work on me until Justin hopped into that workshop. And I was like, oh, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. So he's coming back. He was amazing last year. He's going to be amazing again. He is just the epitome of Black boy joy. I absolutely love his heart. He always makes me smile. And so if that is something you need in your life, I would encourage you, if you are a member, whether you are a star student or a creator, try to come to this call live, because it really is going to be a breath of fresh air. So that being said, I would love for you to say good morning or something, because I know when you guys get locked in, you get quiet. But I really do want to make sure that I haven't been talking on mute this entire time and that you're with me. So if you can just let me know where you're tuning in from, that's a very easy question. Let me know where you watching from. You East Coast, you West Coast, you Midwest, like what's happening. So let me know in the comments where you are currently tuning in from. When I went to the gym this morning at 6:15 to do some weightlifting, the instructor was like, man, you guys are really quiet today. And we're like, girl, it's 6:15 on Monday. Yeah, we're gonna be quiet. So if you're feeling that Monday energy, I get it. I get it. I've just had hours to wake up. So thankfully, I am alert. I'm ready to teach. All right. So who is tuning in today? We've got Beth from Texas. Oh, we've got some members in here. Adrian is here from, I don't think I realized you were in Oklahoma. That's awesome. Okay. We've got Chicago covered here. We got Michigan covered. Okay. Awesome. So yeah, I'm not surprised I don't see many West Coast people, because it would be like 7 a.m. their time. And that's fine. Hopefully they catch the replay. All right, my friends. So I'm going to start with one tool that's actually a repeat from last week, and that is Descript. Okay. So Descript is an AI tool that is going to help you to turn your vision into a video. Quite simply, Descript is pretty much everybody's go-to right now for text-based editing. Other platforms can do it. Premiere can do it. Riverside can do it. But when I think about the tool that is getting the most notoriety right now for people who are not video editors, it's Descript. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and screen share that one again. Like I said, we did talk about this one before. However, I do want to call to attention a few of the features here. Okay. So what I did not realize is that you can actually use Descript to generate video with AI. Did not realize that was a feature. Not surprised. A lot of people are leveraging that prompt-based technology to be able to make video clips, but I wanted to make you aware that that is something that you can now do in the platform. So if we hover over features, my friends, you will never, 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 never use 100% of what the tools can do. It is what it is. But what they are trying to do is to try to capture as many different techniques that you might utilize with this tool, so that instead of you having 5 different tools, you can kind of depend on Descript to do multiple things. So, say for instance, some things that I really like about it. Obviously, we talked about the video editing. People love it for the captions feature. I really do love how it works with your sound. So, removing retakes, removing filler words. If you forget to say something, they actually have AI speech that can help you to realistically clone your voice to be able to say something that maybe you meant to put in the recording and forgot to say it. So, say for instance, if you're doing a voiceover and there's an important thing that you need to mention or a correction you need to make, you could technically use AI speech to do that. They also say that you can make avatars. I'm gonna be real with y'all. I still find AI avatars to be a little unsettling. So I'm not going to depend on those, but I do see people using AI avatars for social content. In short stints, I think it's okay. But people love people right now. So don't be afraid to turn the camera on and be real, because that really will help you stand apart. So, like I said, we did a deep dive on Descript in the past, but I wanted to make sure that you were aware of it again from the standpoint of content creation. I will say this is their pricing model. They do have a free version, um, but it's going to be limited. So you can see here, you're going to get more of the features like the ability to remove the watermark, export in 1080 when you have stepped up from the free version to the hobbyist version. And this is going to be the case with many tools, is that the free versions will give you access, but certain features will be paywalled. Or you'll have a certain number of credits. You'll see that a lot with AI tools. You have a certain number of credits for the free version. And if you want more, then you have to upgrade. Okay. So this is a basic pricing model. Honestly, I don't know anybody who's going over creator, and they know that because that's the most popular. But again, you can pay for whatever you want. But these subscriptions really do start to add up. So I would encourage you always start with the free version and get to the point of friction where you're like, I'm making my life more difficult by not having the paid version, and then upgrade. But don't leap there. Don't leap there. So that's my 2 cents about Descript. Again, it's a lot of people's go-to for the text-based editing. Does that really well, captions really well, and then cleaning up that sound. So all of that is available within Descript, and I would encourage you check it out. See if it's something that you may want to utilize. If video content is something that you're really trying to lean into in terms of content creation. All right, y'all. I'm not going to spend a ton of time talking about this because I feel like if there is one AI tool for content creation that people have been doubling down on, it's ChatGPT. However, I wonder, let me go back in here. I don't put all my business out on the street. But let me see here. Some of the things that I have put in here. Oh, yes. This was a very interesting. Let me go ahead and share this with you. So a lot of people talk about using ChatGPT for copy, right? Write this for me, research this for me. But I love using ChatGPT as more of a Google on steroids. Okay. So let me give you an example. I'm gonna be real with y'all. I hadn't looked at the unsubscribes on my weekly emails in a while. And I was like, I really want to know where where am I on the spectrum in terms of what is normal and what is not normal for a healthy email list? Because I think it's easy to just see data. But at the same time, like what is the data actually telling me? And so I have probably 3,800 emails on my list, but I don't do all send when I send out those weekly emails. So I was like, okay, if I had a list of 3,200 people, what is an average unsubscribe rate? So that's what I asked ChatGPT. I literally just did this for my own peace of mind. Like I wanted to know, like, should I pivot? Should I change something? Like, what is healthy? And so in this case, they said that for well targeted engaged lists, you should expect between zero point 0.1 to zero point 0.5 unsubscribes per email. up to 1% or higher if your audience is less engaged. So again, what does that mean practically speaking? On the low end, 0.1% is usually three unsubscribes per email. Average is about 10 to 16 unsubscribes per email. High would be 32 unsubscribes per email. Now, where does this come into play as a content creator? Well, there are some companies that will literally pay me for ads in my newsletter. And so it's important that the format of my newsletter is something that people like to continue to read, that they aren't constantly unsubscribing or marking it as spam, because then the ads aren't going to perform as well. So I want to make sure that I have people on that list that actually want to receive that information. You may even be a part of summits or conferences where they give you access to the email list of the attendees. And so it would be really important to kind of segment those people and just see like what is a healthy unsubscribe rate for that group of people. So in my case, by looking at that data, I was like, okay, according to ChatGPT, if I don't have double digit unsubscribes on an email send, I'm doing good. So I don't need to stress if 3 to 5 people per email decide to unsubscribe, because ultimately them unsubscribing is telling me they're not interested in this information anymore, which I'm grateful for. Like, girl, if you don't want to know, please tell me, let me know. And so I was able to take this breath of relief because I'm like, now I know how to look at my data. So I give that to you as an example because how many times have we looked at analytics from Instagram, from LinkedIn, from YouTube, and not really known what to make of it, right? Not really, we don't really know, are we on track? Are we not? And so what's super helpful is putting that type of data into ChatGPT, prompting it with that to say, help me analyze this data. I got the data, but help me make sense of it. So that's one application of it. I have used ChatGPT to help me rewrite an email or help me to come up with some titles for a YouTube video. Like, hey, I've created a YouTube video about this topic. Can you give me 10 SEO friendly titles for my YouTube video? Okay. I do not use ChatGPT as the start of my content creation because it is scraping the internet from all corners. And I don't want to plagiarize by utilizing someone else's content simply because I asked ChatGPT and it pulled it from whoever. I have seen this go sideways so fast on Instagram. I'm not going to drop the names because I'm not feeling that petty today. But like, there are people who will create reels, especially, and they will teach their framework. And come to find out, it's not their framework. They got the framework from ChatGPT, and ChatGPT got the framework from someone's blog post. And they didn't know they were plagiarizing because they asked ChatGPT, but ChatGPT did not originate that concept. Woof, right? And so I just think the reality is ChatGPT is a very helpful tool for content creation, but I am way more apt to use it to refine what I've created than to start the process of creation with that tool. So I'm not going to dwell on that tool because I got some better ones to show you. But I did want to bring it up because it is very popular. People use it all the time. We did a whole workshop about how to create custom GPTs. And so that could be a way that you create something that grows your list or create something and that becomes a product. So I'm not going to dwell on that. I will show you if you did miss that custom GPT workshop. I went through on one of our work with me sessions and I made all of the replays available on demand. So that was this particular workshop here. And so if you missed it, you can buy it for $10 and you can watch it right now. Okay. And there's also resources for you in the resource section of this video. But again, my biggest hesitation with ChatGPT is using it to originate. As a educator, a coach, a consultant, you need to start with your original thought and use ChatGPT as an assistant and not as a replacement. Okay. So hopefully that makes sense. Use it for refinement and research. I like that. Yes. I even used ChatGPT on a recent coaching call. Absolutely loved it for, we would like to create a YouTube channel where we're going to be talking about these content pillars. This is the background of the content creator. They'll be posting weekly to this specific group of people. What are 10 possible names for their new YouTube channel? Gave us 10 names. Awesome. We chose blank. Thanks so much. Now we need a slogan. Can you give a slogan based on da 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 da? Okay, gave me 10 slogans. Awesome. Now I got a name. I got a slogan. Now I'm going to go to another AI tool and I'm going to create the logo. So, like, I have started leveraging AI tools on my YouTube coaching calls, and it has sped up the amount of time it takes somebody who has a concept and they walk away from the coaching call with exactly what to post, how often to post, what the lead magnet is, what the upsell is, and how to make money. So that's a very practical application. But again, ChatGPT was not originating the YouTube content. They were helping us to come up with the solution based on our inputs. Okay, so I'm gonna get off that soapbox. I think we covered that pretty well. I'm saving Canva for the end because y'all know once I start talking about Canva, we are in the depths and who knows when we'll pop out. So I'm gonna save that one for the end. Y'all already know what it is. But let us talk about YouTube SEO. YouTube SEO, my friends, is the secret sauce to be seen on YouTube. YouTube is not a social platform. YouTube is a search engine that allows people to be social. And if you're posting without optimizing your video content for search, you are not going to grow as fast. It is what it is. Like, you may show up on the explore page when you talk about something viral, but let's be honest, going viral these days is so difficult, and usually it's based on something negative. Social media thrives on negativity. So if you're trying to add good in the world, you are more than likely not going to go viral. So that being said, we need to leverage AI to make our lives easier. So the go-to, the GOAT, I have been using TubeBuddy. Oh my goodness, too long. I should have a free account at this point. But TubeBuddy is the YouTube SEO tool that I have been rocking with for a very long time. And that helps me to optimize my content. So let me go ahead and screen share that and kind of show you how I am practically using this tool. Now, we're not going to go into the back end because I'm literally live streaming right now, and that would just be too much chaos for my brain. However, this does give a very good kind of synopsis of the features. Okay, so let's talk about some of the categories. I'm actually going to start with the one at the very bottom because I feel like that is one that we don't talk about enough. If you are an entrepreneur and you have been self-employed for quite some time, you know the feeling of pivoting every 6 to 12 months. Sometimes it's out of boredom, sometimes it's out of necessity. The market has changed. But how many times have you changed the link? How many times have you changed your slogan? How many times have you retired an offer and you don't offer anymore? The bulk edit tool in TubeBuddy is my saving grace. Because if all of a sudden you decide to pivot and the call to action that you put in the description of your videos was to book your free discovery call for your Squarespace website, go to this link. And now it's 7 years later and you don't build websites for people anymore. You can tell TubeBuddy, scan my channel, the whole channel. And if you see instances of this phrase, replace it with this one. Okay. I cannot tell you how many times I have utilized this tool and just thought, oh my gosh, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. To go video by video by video, to get rid of broken links, to get rid of things I don't sell anymore. I'm like, oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. This is a very practical application of AI. Okay. So you're looking at it way more as an assistant to do things that it would take you so long to do. That is one of the features. I'm like, why are we not talking about this enough? Because this is a very real thing. If you are using YouTube to market your business, I guarantee freaking to you, you are going to change your links at some point. You're going to change your domain, you're going to change a service. And so this way, you can just scan your whole channel and say, replace this with this and move on with your life. Okay. It's like the find tool in a document. Amazing. Absolutely incredible. So that's the one I love. So I definitely want to talk about that one first. But let's get real. I use the SEO Studio and the Keyword Explorer tool all the time because, again, SEO driven. Okay. So let me see. Let me open this in another tab and see if this does a little breakdown. Yes, this is better. Okay. All right. So essentially, what happens is, let's take it all the way back. Say, for instance, this particular month, I come up with a theme for my content on my live streams. Like, okay, well, I already want to bring on Phil to talk about his book, AI for Small Business. Probably makes sense just to make a whole month out of talking about AI tools. So let me come up with my topics and then let me put it into the Search Explorer tool and let me see what are people practically searching for. What are they typing into the search bar in YouTube? And let's see the search strength of the keywords that I'm planning on ranking this video for. There is no way your brain can contain that information. So you would need an SEO tool to do this for you, right? So what's really great is what TubeBuddy will do is it will show you kind of like a speedometer to say, okay, from 0 to 100, how strong is this keyword search term for your video? You might think you should do a video about AI tools for video editing. But as soon as you change it to AI tools for content creation, you begin to realize, okay, this is going to reach a larger group of people because there are more people searching for content creation than video editing. And so you have to think the AI tool is helping me to know what keywords to optimize my content for. So when people are searching for answers to that specific question, they stumble across me. They don't know me from Adam. They are finding me because I am a solution to their problem. And then once they get to learn from me, then they decide to subscribe, like it, whatever, because they like the way I teach, right? But think about it. When you go on Instagram, for instance, you go on Instagram, you create a brand new Instagram account from scratch. And it's like, okay, how do people even know you have an Instagram? How do people know what you're going to be posting about? So you just post and you try using hashtags, but those aren't a thing anymore. And you try using trending audio, but sometimes that works and sometimes it doesn't. And then you try using the edits app and you think that's going to help because it's a new feature, but then freaking rat race, y'all. And you know I'm not lying. Absolute rat race. But then you look at YouTube and you're like, oh, I can just be an expert in whatever it is I have expertise in. And I can leverage this SEO tool. So when people are searching for this thing, no matter how niche it is, it could be how to not kill your houseplants. But when people are searching that into YouTube, they stumble across me. That is going to help me to reach more people who don't know who I am than just posting and posting and posting on Instagram. And so I know that video is not everyone's cup of tea, but the majority of you guys are making reels on Instagram anyway, so you might as well turn them into YouTube shorts. So when I coach people on YouTube, I always give them practical application of how to use these AI tools to give you that upper hand. You're leveraging the power of AI to be seen by more people. So I've done some deep dives into TubeBuddy on the channel before, but again, SEO Studio, Keyword Explorer, Bulk Edit, I use those all the time. Almost every single video that I optimize for search is going through TubeBuddy, either to start the process or to finish the process. So definitely think it's a great tool. However, they are not the only game in town. And here's a new friend on the streets, Tube Spanner. Okay. Now, this is one I heard about recently, and I was very impressed by what they had to offer. I also thought the interface was really, really nice. And for me personally, if I don't like the process of looking at the tool, I just don't use it. So this is a much more, in my opinion, comprehensive YouTube tool. It's going to help you with some SEO stuff, but it's so much more than that. Okay. So they simply say succeeding on YouTube is hard. Tube Spanner makes it easier. So let's kind of go into what it does. So it says plan faster, produce faster, promote promote wider. Okay, practical application. So they are going to help you to design custom thumbnails for all your YouTube videos. It's going to help you. You can technically plan, schedule, and post to your social networks in one spot. It's going to help you with smart text and replies. So replying to your comments is a lot easier. Planning your content, AI features incorporated in there. It's going to help you with your script writing, which for some of you is a big deal. Your video analytics, auditing your content, all of that. And the pricing is great. Okay. So look at that pricing. That pricing is right on par with what we pretty much want to pay. $10 a month, no problem. And so I think one of the situations that I see people running into all the time is they go and they say, okay, I want to do YouTube. I want to make videos. And they sit back and go, well, where do I start? What do I make? Who's watching? What's popular right now? How do I structure my video? What should the thumbnail look like? All those different things. I feel like TubeBuddy really kills it in the SEO game. They put a lot of energy and effort into the video is done. Now, how do we get it seen by more people? TubeSpanner looks like a tool that says, you want to make videos? Let me assist you in the process. Okay. So I could see a universe where you would have both. And you can definitely do the free subscription to either one of them and just poke around. Both of them have extensions that get connected to your browser to make your life easier. But those are two AI tools for YouTube video creation that I've been seeing lately that have been super helpful for people who feel overwhelmed by that. Okay. So we talked about Descript. Cannot talk about Descript without also talking about Riverside because there is a little overlap. However, Riverside has a lot of features, my friend. It really does. But I'm telling you right now, I hate to admit it, but they record the best. Okay. And I don't say this very often, but the best podcast interviews. Okay. The reason why I think they are the best is because they understood a very essential problem when it comes to editing a podcast interview. And that is, I have no control over what your video feed or your audio looks like when you hop on to record this interview. When you hop on a Zoom call, you hop in StreamYard, you hop in, whatever platform. One of the struggles is, how do I get the best video quality possible, regardless of what your internet speed looks like or your expertise? And I will tell you, Riverside records the videos separately and it records in the highest quality possible. So when you go to edit the content, it is just crystal clear. Okay. Other applications, even StreamYard, have tried to add in some of the features that are available in Riverside. But when it comes to the recording studio side of what Riverside can do, especially when it comes to recording a podcast, go to. So for those of you, when you think of content creation and your long form is not necessarily YouTube videos, but it's interviews. It's, I want to bring in subject matter experts to talk about various things. And I need a system in place where I can record beautiful looking interviews because everybody wants video along with their podcast these days. This is the tool I would use. Okay. So if we go into Riverside, I'm just going to show you the front facing side of it. I've done a few videos about it on the channel, so I'm not going to dwell on this one either. However, you're going to see here, there are so many things that you can do with it. They do have some quick links for podcasters, producers, marketers. But I have seen people use it for podcasts, video interviews, webinars. You can technically go live in it too. But this is the really great thing. You can see here, it records those separate tracks. And that is what is really going to up the quality level. When you get on Zoom and, it's optimizing for the best live experience, those Zoom recordings are not going to be near the quality that you can get from the exact same camera in Riverside. If you're recording your podcast in Zoom, technically it's fine. Technically you can do it, but the quality level will go up with very little effort if you were to use Riverside. The other thing that I really love about it is they give you a studio. So if you want to simplify your systems and invite people to your studio based on a Calendly link, for instance, that link is not going to change. Every single time someone hops in for an interview, you can send them the exact same link, similar to a Zoom room. You would have a studio link and they can join. They don't even need a Riverside account to join. So absolutely love that aspect of it. Now, if I were to go inside of my Riverside account, um, I've had this happen. Alan asked me a few months back, would you be willing to make a quick video giving some tips to my membership community? And I love Alan, but when he asked me, I was super slammed at the moment. So I'm like, okay, what is the quickest way for me to make a high quality video? Well, I hopped in Riverside, turned on the studio, looked at my camera, and recorded the video. And I was able to record, make a few minor changes, and export it within a matter of minutes. I didn't have to go and involve my team and get camera set up and do all of that. I could do this directly from my computer from beginning to end in one program. It also does a really good job with helping you to create show notes. Again, if you do a podcast, it can do those AI show notes. You can use magic clips with it if you want to pull clips from it. So I really will say, if you are trying to double down on using a podcast to create content for your brand, you need to have Riverside. And the difference between doing that and kind of bootstrapping it with other tools is like day and night. So they definitely do that well. There are other aspects to it for sure, but that is the thing that I feel like nobody can compete with them on. All right, so that's Riverside. Speaking of clips, I'll be honest with you. Yes, there are magic clips built into Riverside, but OpusClip, they're killing it. They are killing it when it comes to helping you to take long form content and turn it into short video clips with captions. Okay. So, an application of this could be a podcast interview, it could be a YouTube video. You always want to start with long form content that you make shorter when you start to leverage AI tools. So, if we go over to OpusClip, quite simply, this is a great application of it. You take one long form video and you can turn it into 10 viral clips in a click. Okay. Now, this is a crazy thing because my husband and I own a video production company. So I know how much time it takes to listen to an hour-long video and try to find the highlights and then, take a horizontal video, make it vertical, then add in captions, then add in music and B-roll. It can be a whole process. This tool was literally designed for this, okay? So say for instance, if we go over to the features, AI B-roll in one click. Adding B-roll to your shorts, to your reels is going to immediately make it more engaging. You can actually leverage AI within OpusClip to just do that for you, which is nuts. Okay. It's going to automatically add your captions. So you don't have to worry about having a separate captions app or going to add them in Instagram. Like it can do that for you. If we continue down here, you can easily create templates. You can edit directly inside of it. So a lot of you, I will honestly say, do they have some of the people? Okay, they say 10 million plus creators and businesses. So they're not saying specific people on the homepage, but I'm telling you, a lot of you, especially if you are talking about YouTube, a lot of people are utilizing OpusClip to make their shorts because it's just not worth the time to do all that editing manually themselves. So that's what people are using. I guarantee you have seen the product of OpusClip without even knowing what AI tool people were using to make those. And so if you are someone who maybe you do a coaching call once a month like I do, and you want to create some shorts to market your membership, that's a great application. Take that call recording, upload it to OpusClip, and get some clips out of that. You can post it on LinkedIn. You can post it in an Instagram story. You can post it on Shorts. And so that is going to speed up your editing. So that is a great solution for you to get short clips from long form content. All right. So quickly to recap, we talked about ChatGPT, Descript, OpusClip, Riverside, TubeBuddy, and TubeSpanner. And now it is time to talk about everyone's favorite, Canva. Okay. If you didn't know it because somehow you were living under a rock, I am a Canva verified expert. I make a lot of tutorials about Canva. I have over 100 on this channel, and there are more to come. Every December, I do 25 days of Canva, so there are more videos coming. However, the AI features that have been added to Canva in the last year, mind-boggling. Okay, so we're gonna land the plane with just doing a deep dive into that. You know what? I actually did miss one. Poor thing. I'm gonna make it real quick. BigVu. I did a whole video about BigVu, so I'm not gonna dwell on this one either. BigVu is what I use as my teleprompter. If you have not recorded your video content with a teleprompter, you are missing out. I seem pretty eloquent right now, but almost every single brand video that I do, whether it is a short or it is a long form piece of content, I am reading a teleprompter. And BigVu is one I can put on my desktop computer, like right now, and I can put it on my phone. Okay, so I'll just show you a quick example of me using BigVu. Again, I have a whole video about it. BigVu looks like this. I can put in my script. It'll tell me how many words are in the script, how long it's going to take me to deliver it. I can do read only, where I can just put it on my desktop computer and I can do the talking head by reading the teleprompter, or I can actually record it directly in BigVu and then turn it into a script. They have AI voice generator. They have an AI writer to help you with your scripts. They can check your scripts. Like, truthfully, almost all of my sponsored content, I dump it into BigVu, put it on my phone, put it in my car, or put it on my computer screen and record. It will take the process from taking me an hour to taking me less than 10 minutes. So I'm telling you, like, if there was one AI tool for content creation, I would highly recommend it would be some type of teleprompter app, because when you're recording, it's so hard to like think of what you're going to say and say it at the same time. So I do all the thinking ahead of time. I send it to the brands for approval, and then I just use a teleprompter. And this is the one I use. So the BigVu video that I did on the channel, it's very extensive. I show you using it on a desktop, on a laptop, on a cell phone. So it's awesome. I've been using it for a very long time. And like literally, this is a sponsored script from a past piece of content. So I did forget, since they start with the letter B, I thought when I saw C that I was done, but I did have BigVu on the list. So it's definitely a great tool. Feel free to go check out that standalone video to learn more about it. All right, so I want to quickly draw attention to this. This is a new development. Back in the day, if you watch an old Canva tutorial of mine, you're going to hear me talking about Canva 45 and a 45-day free trial. Y'all, that season has passed. So sorry. Don't have access to that anymore. However, I do have access to a 30-day free trial of Canva Pro. Okay, so not 45, but I can get you 30. So if you are still rocking a free Canva account, you are not going to have access to all the AI tools within Canva without Canva Pro. So as I start to talk about some of the things that are available, if you have a free account, the best thing for you to do is to go to lashondabrown.com/Canva and then click on that purple button, and that's going to get you access to Canva Pro free for 30 days. Okay. So even if you don't have a paid account now, you can get access to these AI tools and start making content for August right now. So I don't want you to think that, oh, well, I have a free account, so I'm not eligible. There is a very simple way to get around that. So that is my 2 cents about that. Now, what I'm going to pull up really quick to give you guys a very quick, let's see here, rundown of the newest AI features. And then we'll go from there. Yes, we'll do it this way. All right. I'm going to try not to overwhelm y'all with all the things. There's so much I could say. All right. So Canva Create happens. I don't know if you guys remember seeing this. I actually was on the screen while John Baptiste was playing. So if you go back and look at the recording for a split second, you will see my face on the screen, which was insane. Did not know that was going to happen. Definitely screamed. It was very cool. I'm actually attending this event. If you see like the circle floor, I'm like to the right-hand side of it. So they had us like front row. It was incredible. I was in second row. But anyway, so Canva Create is when they told us what the latest rollouts were going to be. And so you can go back here, you can watch some of the workshops that took place there. But these were some of the major launches. Canvas Sheets, my friends, is incredible for your content calendar. Okay. I went to a workshop about this that Manu hosted for your social team. And I thought, what a wonderful application of this feature. If you have a content calendar and another tool, now you can integrate it in the same tool that you're using to make the content. So, say for instance, you can put your content pillars and drop downs in the Canvas sheets, and then you can link to those projects within your sheets. So, if you have someone posting for you, this is a great way for you to plan things out. If you want to brainstorm a sales launch or what have you, that's a perfect application of it because AI is built into Canvas sheets. I am using this practically speaking right now to track my ads for Instagram to see what's performing well and what's not. But yeah, there's so many different applications, but just know Canvas Sheets can help you with your content creation. Okay, what are some of the other things that rolled out? Your entire workflow can be in the same place. So you can make a Canva doc, a Canva presentation, a Canva social post, all in the same project. That's going to speed up your content creation. Another thing that happened, we don't talk about this enough. You can make apps with Canva without having to understand app development using Canva code. There is a girl right now who's trending on Instagram who literally created a whole business model out of teaching people Canva code. I think I'm just going to have to do a deep dive into it either for a month on the channel or as part of 25 days of Canva. But you can start turning some of your lead magnets into apps using Canva code. And I think that will significantly increase the amount of people that opt in for whatever it is you're offering. Okay. So this is kind of changing your thinking when it comes to leveraging AI. You're not leveraging AI to necessarily make the content that you post, but to make the content that you create more attractive, if you will. Okay. So if you tell me I can give you an ebook about the 10 different entrepreneur personalities, give me your name and email, or you can try my free entrepreneurship personality calculator, and it'll tell you what type of content you need to create based on your personality. People love a good app these days. It's different, it's novel, it's attractive. And so you can utilize your same Canva account that you've been rocking with to make your Instagram graphics, to make little apps for you to grow your email list. Okay. So again, this is like next level. This might be intermediate or expert mode of Canva. I might even have to do a whole workshop about this. But the reality is, we need to start thinking about lead magnets in a different way. You don't have to do what you've always been doing. And what's been happening is people are so used to seeing the same old thing over and over and over. They're not opting in like they used to. So this is a very simple thing that's already built into Canva that you can utilize for your content. Okay. So I'm just putting it out there. I'm giving you some options. All right. Now, there's also, you can create things with prompts in Canva AI. This is a great way for you to start from scratch and say, Canva, I want to create a carousel post about 10 ways to not kill your houseplants. Apparently, I'm obsessed with plants today. You can actually do that now in Canva and utilize AI to start the design process. So instead of you starting from a template, you can start from a prompt and it will pull templates and help you decide. So if you get into Canva and you're like, I got freaking analysis paralysis, I'm not making any decisions because there's too many choices. Use AI to narrow down your choices. Okay. Speed up the content creation process by letting AI narrow it down. Okay. So that's an option. So I'm just telling you what they rolled out in April. Okay. I'm not even telling you about what's already existed in Canva. And then they did a whole big to do about being able to create video clips inside of Canva using, I think it was called VO. Google VO. And again, that's next level too. So we're not even going to the depths of that. However, I'm going to take you into the back end of my Canva and show you some practical applications of things that I'm doing. Okay. So we're going to hop in here and we're going to make this nice and simple. If you have questions about Canva features that you would like to see me do a deep dive tutorial on, we're going to start building out our list for 25 days of Canva. And I'm more than happy to hop in and say, okay, girl, I could really use a tutorial about Canva code. How about one on Canva sheets? Like, let me know what you're interested in and I can add it to the list, because making 25 tutorials is a lot. So I'm happy to get input from you to help me to narrow it down. Okay. So say for instance, if I wanted to make an Instagram reel, okay, this is a very simple, I just opened up mobile video template in Canva. Utilizing AI, you can look over here. Here's a great application of AI inside of Canva. Generate videos instantly. So you can actually upload multiple video clips that are not cut to Canva and they can beat sync it for you. Okay. So that's a very easy way for you to utilize AI. Now, obviously, there are AI tools for photo editing. So if I were to just drop in a random photo here, say for instance, let's see here. Let us go to, oh, gotcha. I see what we're looking at. Let me log out. I've got so many different Canva profiles. I'm like, why are those old photos? Y'all, I have like 5 different Canva profiles. Shenanigans is what that is. All right, let's switch that team to the Bootstrap team. Okay, and we will refresh that. Oh, let me hop over to the comments too. I didn't know these were in Canva. Explain more about lead magnet and app in the group call this week. Sure, yeah, I can do some more information about that on the coaching call. I would definitely like a deep dive into Canva code for lead magnet. Okay, cool. Yeah, we can talk about that some more on our coaching call on Wednesday. And I definitely think I'll do at least 1 or 2 tutorials about that on the channel, because that's a great application of Canva and Flowdesk at the same time, because I would still use my email list in Flowdesk. All right, let's see here. Yes, now we are back to ourselves. All right. So if we are looking at my Canva account, so y'all know I'm currently obsessed with LinkedIn. So you see a lot of carousel posts from me about the platform on my channel. But if I were to click on my images here and go to edit, all of the editing features, background remover would be one, that's a shortcut. But you see here, Magic Studio, all of these are AI features. So everything from generating a background that's not there, erasing things from a photo, grabbing things from a photo and moving it, grabbing text, adding things that aren't there, anything that has magic in it is going to be an AI feature inside of Canva. So not only are you going to see AI features in terms of editing your photos, you're going to see it in terms of creating designs. I mean, there's a lot. And that is why I do 25 days of Canva every year. I wait until the end of the year so they get all the glitches out, that everybody has the features rolled out. And then I go, okay, whew, what a year. Let's look back and what are the features that I think people really need to know how to use? And then I create those tutorials. And those Canva tutorials are still the top videos on my channel. So like I said, I have over 100 Canva tutorials on the channel. So this was just a little preview. I love doing those specific deep dives because you can pause, you can rewind, and you can look specifically about, hey, I want to learn how to use Magic Extend to turn a vertical image into a horizontal image. And then you can go right to that video and learn that AI technique in that video. So I would encourage you to check out that playlist because, girl, we are at time. It is 11 o'clock. I covered a lot of ground. This was an incredible month. I'm letting you know next month is going to be about brand partnerships and sponsorships and help y'all make some money, learn how I sell to tech companies to take the pressure off of my students. So if you liked this, make sure that you give this a like to help it reach more people. I did create a playlist of all of the AI live streams that we did this month. So feel free to go back and look at those if you want to see what I covered that you may have potentially missed. And again, if you become a member of the Bootstrap creators before Wednesday at 1, you will get added to the coaching call and you can ask me more on that call. All right, my friends. Well, our time is up for today. Next week, I will be in New York. So I think the internet's going to be good enough for me to go live. But if not, I will see you the week after that. So I'll let you know if you're on the email list. It probably will be fine. I'll be at the Marriott, so I'm sure it'll be fine. But y'all know how hotel internet can be, and there's gonna be thousands of people there. So I want to give myself that out if for some reason it's just not good enough. So, as we like to say on the channel, until next time, ta-ta for now.